welcome for the first time to my YouTube channel. I went thrifting a couple days ago, found so much good stuff to resell, and so I'm going to give you a good old thrift haul. I'll tell you roughly how much I spent on things, how much I anticipate them to sell for, and what platform I bought them for. I sell on Poshmark and eBay, and I have a website, and I sell on Instagram, and then I also do style bundles. So I buy for a lot of different kinds of things, so I thought that I would show you what I'm buying what for, what does well for me on what platform. We can just chat and I can show you what I got. I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for years, since I started reselling over 4 years ago, and today I decided to finally do it. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel. I plan to be posting once a week, probably every Friday afternoon, but we'll see how that works out. And then a lot of this I already showed on my Instagram. A lot of it's already listed on Poshmark, eBay, and on my website. If not, and you're interested, let me know. I'd love to send you information, and if so, I can send you a link. Let's go ahead and get started. So I went to 3 different thrift stores and 1 buy-sell trade store. And at the first store I spent $100.52 and I bought 16 items. At the second store I spent $54.17 for 14 items. The third store I spent $115 for 14 items, and at the last store, the buy-sell trade store, I spent $87.78 for 5 items. So total I bought 49 items for $357.47. So my average cost of goods was just under $7.30, mainly because I paid up for the shoes. I got 2 pair of shoes in the last store and I paid up for them, and that really bumped up my cost of goods. It was pretty good until that last stop, but here's what I found and how I plan to sell it. First up, probably my favorite item, I got this vintage 1970s US Air Force jacket. So it's like a satin bomber jacket with a fur collar, and then it has this fabulous embroidery and patch on the back, and then on the sleeves too. I looked this up and it's from the 1970s, and I guess that it was like a special forces kind of jacket, so it was a little bit rare. I paid up like $12 for this, and I anticipate to sell it for about $100 probably on eBay, but I went ahead and listed it on everything. Next up, I got this Free People romper. I found lots of Free People in Madewell. This Free People romper is like a very classic Free People style. It's like a tube top with the billowing legs. I found that this kind of boho style does best for me from Free People. And it is a size small. I listed it for $40. I'm sure it'll probably sell for around $30, most likely on Poshmark. Next is Anthropologie dress. It was way better than I anticipated when I got it at the store. It is just like an Anthropologie slip midi dress, and it ties at the top, has little ruffle details. It's a brand new style. It just sold in 2023, so that was very nice. Not anticipated. It's an extra small. I have it listed for $89. I'm sure it'll sell for around $50 to $70, somewhere around there. Next, a Madewell dress. This one is a very classic Madewell style, super cute with a little button front. It's a size 2, and I want to say that it's a 2020 style, somewhere around there. 2019 style. I listed it for $40. I'm sure it'll sell for around $25 to $35. Next, another Free People dress. This one's a little bit of an older style, but it seemed to do pretty well still. I think that I listed this one at $40, and I'm sure it'll sell for around $25. But it is super cute, and it's a size 4. I have found that Free People, Madewell, Anthropologie, all of those do better in larger sizes. But of course, you can't control that at the thrift store. Next, this dress is by Saints and Secrets. I don't really understand all the correlation, but Saints and Secrets, Hello Molly, Selfie Leslie, all of those are somehow connected, and a lot of them sell all the same styles. So if you find a Saints and Secrets dress, it may have sold at Selfie Leslie or Hello Molly. But this style is just like a very classic little mini party dress. And these do pretty well for me. I listed this one at $40. It'll sell for $25 to $30, and it is size US small. Next, maybe my favorite find of the day, and this was my first sale of all these things that I have listed. It is a pair of Mother jeans. I love finding Mother jeans. This is from the Mother Superior line, so it has this big tag on it, and these were a size 27. This style was a very new style that was still in Revolve. It's the high-waisted rider skimp, which is just like a high-rise straight leg jean. But these sold for $100. I listed them at $150, took a $100 offer same day that I listed. Next up are these Lululemon pants. I got these at the buy-sell trade store, but they were not marked up. I think that I paid $7 or $8 for them. I thought they were the dance studio style pant, but they were a little bit different. I couldn't find the exact style name, but they're like a jogger that you can let out and it would be a straight leg pant. But I listed them for I think $60, and I think they'll sell for around $40 to $50. But anything that resembles the dance studio jogger sells really well, so this style is always a good one. Next is this little Ted Baker party dress in a super cute style. I don't always pick up Ted Baker dresses anymore just because they don't move as well as they used to for me. But if it's in a cute style, I still like to pick it up. I don't remember what I listed this at. I want to say around 75, and I think it'll sell around 50. But it's a cute new style, and it's in a size 2. And I love the little scallop details. Next, I don't pick up these very often anymore either, but they are some Pilcrow jeans. This is the newest Pilcrow tag, the Anthropologie Pilcrow. It used to be Pilcrow in the letterpress, but now it's just Pilcrow. But these were a slim straight fit, high rise, super cute, and they were a newer style, so I went ahead and grabbed these. I don't grab the skinnies or the low rises anymore, and I don't really get anything that has like rhinestones or sequins. They don't seem to do as well, but a lot of these still do well because they can be dressed up so people can wear them to work. But I listed this, I think, at 40. I think they'll sell around 25 to 35. Next, this is a Natural Life midi dress. I don't find these all the time, and a lot of times when I do, they're flawed. They're not super expensive new, and they don't sell for a ton of money, but they always sell really quickly for me. So just a little midi dress. I listed this one for 40. It'll probably sell around 25, but they sell pretty quickly. My bag is falling. All of those are already listed. Next, I don't think the rest of this bag is listed. Next, I got these little Patagonia mini baggy shorts. These always do well for me. These are obviously a women's cut. And then a lot of these patterns, if they're rare, they'll sell for more money. I assume these will probably sell for like 20 to 25, but they usually sell pretty quickly in the summer. Next, okay, I lied. I did list this one. This is Pam and Gila, I don't know. But it's a super expensive brand. This is a wool cashmere blend sweater, and it is super cute with little ties on the side. This one I got at the buy-sell trade store, but it wasn't marked up. I think it was like $5 or $6. I listed it, I think for 40. It'll probably sell for around 30. But if you get a significant piece by this brand, it'll do really well, like jackets, pants, that kind of thing. Next are these Athleta leggings. They're new with tags, never been worn. These are the Elation Crossover Rib 7/8 tight. They're super cute, super new style. For Athleta, the newer styles are printed right underneath the brand tag, right there on the tag. So that's super helpful to know if they're new or not. I paid $9 for these. I assume they'll sell for around 40. This top bag is the stuff that I saved for Poshmark and eBay, and the bottom bag is what I have for Instagram, but I'll tell you whenever I get closer. Next is this Madewell romper. All of these Madewell pieces were together, so I went ahead and grabbed all of them. It's like a wide leg jumpsuit. I believe it was called the 70s high-rise, or the 70s wide leg jumpsuit. This is size 8, which is a size I like to pick up from Madewell. And it is a spring 2019 style, but it is just super cute. Next are these slacks by ATM. That's what they look like, just a very classic slack. They're in really good condition. This is the tag. It's printed the same color and the same material. These are so expensive new, but they don't always sell for that great. I think that I'll probably list them around 40 to 50. They'll probably sell for like 25 to 30. But I do like to pick these up, and they were only $3. Next, another Madewell jumpsuit. This one is an extra small, which is not my favorite size to grab, but I loved the style. No, I lied. It's a 00, so extra small 00. But it's very like Barbie vibe, super cute to dress up or down, and I love the wide leg style. I paid $9 for that, and I figure I'll list it for 40. And it is from fall 2018. I try to only get things from 2018 or newer. Typically 2020 or newer is ideal, but I thought that was super cute. Next, I grabbed these J. Crew espadrilles. They're nothing fancy. They're J. Crew factory. But they look pretty much brand new, and they're great for going into spring and summer, so I'll probably list these around 30. Next, at the same store that I found those Mother jeans, I found this Mother t-shirt, just a little basic graphic tee. These don't sell for great. I usually list around 40 to 50. They sell for like 25 to 40, depending on the style. But it is super cute. I'm from Oklahoma. I'm guessing it was like a Thunder tee. But it is the Goody Goody boxy tee, and it's a size medium. Next, these two vintage sweaters I grabbed for style bundles, and the style bundle is actually going to be going out today, so glad to finish that off. But they're just two vintage chunky knits. This one is Izod, just a good chunky knit, and then this one is just like a vintage brand. Another chunky knit, but I love to grab those for style bundles, and I have one I really need a couple good sweaters for. Next is this torrid like cardigan robe kind of thing. It's a really thick material. I got it for $5. I can figure out how to, yeah, there it goes. It has like a tie attached. I got it for $5. I assume it'll probably sell for around $25. And it is a 2019 style, but it's in really good condition. I've been trying to be a lot pickier with Torrid. I try and only get like outerwear or maxi dresses, more significant pieces. Next, this was a very fun piece, but it is a bit beat up, so we have some TLC to do on this one. It is a Free People Movement coat, and I got it for just $4, so I of course had to grab it, but I think that it must have been worn like by a fire or something, or maybe it was caught on something, I don't know, but it's down or faux down lined, and so like it's filled with feather kind of material, but there are a few little holes where the feathers are coming out, so I have to go through and trim those, burn those, get them back in good condition. It looks really good. There are a lot that are listed for like upwards of $100. I assume I'll probably end up selling this one for around $40 to $50 just because of the flaws, but we're going to work on that this afternoon. And possibly my most fun find of the day. My mom actually found this one and gave it to me because she's a little bit beat up. But it is a Love Shack fancy dress. I don't think that I've ever found a modern Love Shack fancy piece at a thrift store before, but it has some stains. So Love Shack Fancy, if you don't know, is a very expensive dress brand, and it's also very trendy. It's like a preppy brand. If you are on TikTok, if you see all of the Bama Rush stuff, all of those girls are wearing Love Shack Fancy. This dress new is $350, and it's one of their classic styles, but it has some stains all throughout. They're very light, but it's all throughout the front and the back. But for $5, we of course had to get it, so we're going to work on this today too, on stain treating this. I don't know what I'm going to list it at. It depends on how well I can get the stains out or if I need to dye it or something, but a lot of them are listed for well over $100. I assume it'll end up selling for around $75. And last in this bag, this is a brand that I don't always pick up. It's Rails, but they did not have this marked up. It was only $7, but it's a like midi t-shirt dress. Rails, it seems like tie-dye and then fun patterns seem to do best in that brand for me. It's also super easy to list because it has the brand, or has the name on the tag. So this is a size small. I've been telling you the sizes sometimes, not always. If you're interested in anything, please let me know. Okay, next bag. These are things that I got specifically for Instagram for my story sales. So every Thursday night I have a sale on Instagram where I price things at a lower price for my Instagram followers. So all of these have already been listed on Instagram and some of them have already sold. First up, these vintage bum equipment overalls. They're just like an early 2000s style baggy overall. And these already sold, I think, for $35. I love finding any kind of vintage overalls. They do great for me on Instagram. All my Instagram prices include shipping, but they don't have any fees taken out like on Poshmark, so it kind of evens out for me. Next is this vintage Fredericks of Hollywood dress. It looks like it's from the 1980s from the research that I did. It's like a cowl neck front bodycon fit, but on the back it has this sequin butterfly on the low back. Super fabulous. I think that I listed this one for $48 to $55, somewhere around there. It has not sold yet, but I plan to list it for much higher on eBay if it doesn't sell, because there are some solds that are really good. Next is just this little boutique-y like playsuit romper. I like to pick these up for Instagram. They're just super cozy and trendy. They can be really expensive new, like from Free People. So if you can find the boutique ones at the thrift store, people like them. This one is a size small, and I think I listed it for $28. Next, this one has already sold. It is a J. Crew Factory midi dress in this gorgeous floral pattern. But it's smock top, little ruffles on the sleeves, and it's a midi length. J. Crew Factory dresses seem to do almost as good as regular J. Crew do for me. They're still great quality, great condition, and this one is a fall 2022 style, so it is pretty new, and I think it sold for $45. Next, this is already sold too. This brand is Parade. I actually did a partnership with Parade probably over a year ago now, but it's just like a gorgeous little slip dress with these strawberries. There's a brand called the THRIFT Avenue, and they sell all kinds of things that have like pastel-y fruit prints on them, and they're so popular they sell it every time they drop. So anything that I can find with this kind of fruit print always does really well. But this brand is Parade. They're not super expensive new, but they're all sustainably made, and so they're really desirable. And a lot of their stuff is discontinued after they sell it, and so if you can find a popular print, they do really well. And I actually really love their pajamas. I buy all of my pajamas and underwear from Parade. This is not sponsored or a sales pitch, just honest opinion. Next, this is just a boutique dress. The brand is Item Ditto. I see it pretty often. It's actually new with tags. But this style is a dupe for a Stod dress. It's like over $400 new. It is gorgeous. It's just like a tiered dress with this open back detail. I don't buy a ton of boutique items, but when they're good quality or they're gorgeous like this or new with tags, I do like to pick them up. This one I think that I listed for around $45, and I'll probably list it similarly on Poshmark if it doesn't sell. But it is just such a pretty style. And going into spring and summer, dresses sell like crazy for me, so I was happy to find that. Next, this is just a little Y2K Victoria's Secret slip dress. It is perfect for Valentine's Day. I like to pick up slip dresses like this if I can find them affordably. Of course, my favorite is Victoria's Secret Gold Label. If the label has the gold embroidered tag, that is the best. It's an older style. This one is the Y2K one with the white and pink label, but it is still a gorgeous style. I think that I have it listed in the $35 range, and I'll probably list it similarly on Poshmark. Next, this already sold. It's a little sweater that has these little ice cream cones on it. I was obsessed when I found this. It's a little 3/4 sleeve sweater. The brand is just Loft. I don't usually pick up Loft, but a lot of their sweaters are really good condition and they do really well for me on Instagram. And they do okay on Poshmark too. But I just love any kind of like fun patterned sweater like this. And I think that sold for $32, I believe. Next, this was a new to me brand. It is just like a boutique brand, but it's sold at a lot of high-end boutiques. The tag says Reset, but the brand is Reset by Jane. It's sold at the Pants Store, which again, if you are on Rush Talk on TikTok, you've heard of the Pants Store. But it's a little two-piece skirt set. So here's the top, and then here's the skirt, and you can wear it tucked in. It is a size small. I looked it up, and I want to say that this set together was like over $170 new, so it's super expensive. I think that I listed it in the $45 to $55 range, and I probably will list it for around $75 on Poshmark if it doesn't sell. Next, this is already sold. It is a vintage Kansas State sweatshirt. I love to find college or location vintage sweatshirts. This one's embroidered, always does super well, or any kind of fun graphic does great. This one is vintage Lee, and I think this one sold for $30. Next, I grabbed this Wrangler like outdoors utility vest. It's a canvas vest with Sherpa lining. It's very similar to the Carhartt vest, so I love to pick up any kind of style like that. This one's from the early 2000s, from the Wrangler Hero line. I listed it for $40 on Poshmark or $35 on Instagram. It's just like a great quality outdoors vest. Anything Carhartt style is so popular among young people, like a streetwear, or for working outdoors people, so there's a huge market for it. Next, this guy already sold. It is a vintage dead stock cardigan by Christopher & Banks. That brand specifically isn't great, but they do make some great quality stuff, so if it's super cute, I grab it for Instagram. It just has this little houndstooth collar and then patch pockets. Right now, any kind of cardigan that buttons up the front like this, you can wear open or closed, is really popular. It's like the old money aesthetic on TikTok and on Pinterest, but this style does really well for me, and it sold for $32. Next, another cardigan in the same kind of style. This one is just homemade, like a vintage homemade cardigan. So it does not have any tags, but it's that same style that buttons down the front. And it has these beautiful, colorful flowers on the front. But again, anything that buttons up the front really is popular right now, and I think this one I have listed for $32, but it hasn't sold yet. And that kind of stuff does well for me on Poshmark and eBay too, but usually for around $20 to $25. Next, this already sold. It's a vintage golf course sweater. Anything golf does really well for me right now too, just like a chunky grandpa sweater, and it has the little embroidered logo for Poppy Hills, Pebble Beach, California, which is a golf course, but this sold for $32. Next, I have a little Valentine's Day sweater. This one zips up the front, which isn't always my favorite style, but this one was so cute that I had to grab it, and it was the perfect season for it. This one was CJ Banks, which is also from Christopher & Banks. This one is a 1X, and it just has like these little hearts all over it, but I thought it was perfect for Valentine's Day, and I think that I listed it for $32, and I'll probably list it on Poshmark for around $35. Next, this one already sold. It is a J. Crew button-down shirt. This is the newest J. Crew tag, this J. Crew in all caps. This is a 2023 style. They just started this tag again last year. I love to get anything that is new J. Crew. But this one I sold, I want to say for around $35. It probably would have sold for much more on Poshmark, but I like to give my Instagram girls a good deal. But anything that this J. Crew tag does, great. And any of this like kind of classy, preppy style does really well for me right now. Next up, I don't always grab this brand, but I do like to find the good styles. This is a cabbie sweater, and it's a newer style, but it just has these colorful sleeves, and it's like a chunky ribbed knit material. Cabbie, if you don't know, has a style number on the tag. Always look it up because it could do so well or so poorly, and there's really not much in between. I love to find the cute styles like this, but I don't always pick it up, so I make sure to look up the style number pretty much every time that I find it. I think that I have this one for $35 on my Instagram, and I'll probably list it comparably on Poshmark. Next up, another little cardigan. This is by J. Crew Factory. This is that same style that buttons down the front. Anything like this does really well for me right now. This one is a small and it's just a cotton knit. I think that I listed it for $30 to $32. I'll probably list it for a little bit higher on Poshmark if it doesn't sell on Instagram. But it's just this little thin cardigan that buttons down the front. Anything in the style that's very like Cezanne, Doan, anything like that does really well for me. So I like to pick that up right now. Next up, this already sold. It's another college sweatshirt. This one is OSU, go Pokes. But this one has like this fun plaid patchwork pattern on the graphic, and then this one's a RESELL sweatshirt. RESELL is probably my favorite brand of vintage sweatshirts. They seem to fit really boxy and oversized, and people really like that. I think this one sold for $30 to $32. Next up, I've actually had this before for a vintage show that I went to forever ago, but it is a vintage Mickey Mouse Disney turtleneck, so it has little Mickey graphics all over and just a little turtleneck. It's like a t-shirt or sweatshirt material, and I think that I listed this one at $30 to $32. I'll probably list it about the same on Poshmark if it doesn't sell. Anything vintage Disney does really well for me. Next, this one already sold too, this fabulous bow sweater. If you have not seen, Coquette is in. Like, anything with bows on it is so popular right now, so I was so excited to find this. This is just a vintage brand, and it's a cotton knit, and it has this awesome bow graphic. But this one sold for $35. This one already sold too. This is a great trend to look out for. Any kind of sweater that has an American flag on it or anything like a patriotic like this does really well. Ralph Lauren has a sweater that's been around for 40 plus years that has a big flag on the front, and it had a huge resurgence this past summer and fall. So anything with an American flag, any kind of vintage sweater like this does super well. I think this one sold for $35. And last but not least, I have two pair of shoes from the RESELL trade store. First up are these Free People Moto boots. They have these awesome studs all the way around, this little buckle, and a big chunky platform lugged sole. This style boot does really well for me, and I was happy to find these. I did pay up like $29 I think for these. These are the most expensive thing that I bought, but I knew it would even out, and they're a brand new style still on their website from 2023, so I knew they'd do well. I listed them for, I want to say $150. I think they'll sell for around $100, so I was happy with that return. But anything that's this style does great. And these are a size 38 or a 7.5. And then last but not least, I grabbed these Converse. They're the lugged sole, like outdoor, they call them the winter boot. So they're winterized, they're leather, they're waterproof, and they're lugged, and so they're really good heavy duty shoes. And they're great condition, like no wear on the bottoms. I paid, I think, $19.99 for these, and I think that I listed them for $100, so they should sell around $75. But I was happy to find these. Any kind of like workwear, Converse or Doc Marten or anything like that does really well for me. These are a women's 8, and yeah, so I was happy to find those. So that's everything that I found when I thrifted a couple days ago. A lot of this is already listed, the rest will be listed in the next few days, but if you see anything you're interested in, please let me know. All of those brands or styles I love to pick up. It's really important to be on top of trends when you're looking for vintage pieces, because vintage is one of my best sellers, but you have to know what you're looking for. So I was happy to find so many good vintage knits and tops this thrift trip. I had so much fun filming this video. I'm glad that I'm starting this new little adventure. I plan to be posting things like this along with day in the lives, reselling tips, ship with me, any kind of video like that. I'm planning to be posting every Friday, so if this is something you're interested in, please subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you want to see, and I'm just so happy to hang out with you. So thank you so much for watching.